Okay, everybody, game number 1, Cursed Hollow. We have Cursed Hollow as our starting map. I'm already a fan of this series. Wind and Rain is playing against Granite Gaming right now, and this should be pretty awesome. Granite Gaming, it honestly feels like we haven't seen them in ages. They just played yesterday, finally again, in the grand final of the Heroes Hype series, and today we're having them in Division S again. The reason why it feels like Granite Gaming hasn't played in forever is because they pretty much haven't played in forever, at least not in Division S. The reason is that I think one of the games they played previously was preponed. The next game that they were supposed to play got forfeited by the opponent because within 2 weeks they just couldn't make a proper date. And at some point the admins just said, okay, we have to just give them a free win right now. We already prolonged the time frame in which you can schedule the match, but it still doesn't happen. And so they haven't really shown up for 2.5 weeks or so. But now we're getting Granite again, and they're going up against Wind and Rain here. We have a little bit of a couple of substitute players today subbing in. Marke, Galgulnar, Starzerk, Skog, and Wildcard Schmilz is in there, which apparently is not the real account. This is apparently also a bit of a Smurf account, but I'm not quite sure who exactly that is. There were some login problems caused by the new patch and stuff. So, yeah. But as it stands, we're starting the game off with an immediate Zeratul pick on the side of Tai. This is the newest patch with the Chen rework. So we're going to see if we're going to get some Panda action, or if that patch, which is a bit more likely, is going to turn out to be another big Chen nerf at the end of the day. Because, let's face it, every single time Chen gets touched, it feels like he's getting weaker. But, let's see. We're having Granite Gaming with bans on Ana and Maiev. We're having Dehaka and Tyrande banned out too. But a really early commitment here. Tyrael and Rhaegar are getting picked. Tyrael, of course, in itself already a great pick that we see a lot. And then on top of that, you add that this is Cursed Hollow, so there's boss control through the sanctification, which is super important here for the teams as well. Ah, Abathar. Alright, baby, we have the slug in play with Zeratul. That's honestly a little bit insane. That is honestly a little bit awesome. I like that, because right now we're gonna have a lot of Abathar action. There might be a ban on Jaina, because that would be a good copy. And again, you could also bring Greymane in for another copy. What do we have at the front line? I mean, Muradin would be pairing well with Abathar. So would Diablo, definitely true. So there is a lot of cool combos that could come out of this one, and I'm already a fan of this. So yeah, me likey. But yeah, what else do we have? We have with the setup for for Wind and Rain, we still need the damage. We don't really have any damage dealers on their end. Li Ming is still up, Jaina is still up. You can go into Jimmy if you want here. So there's still a lot to be taken, and especially with Marke in the mix. I mean, there could be Tracer that is getting picked here as well. You have already Tyrael who could provide the shield. So there's just so much stuff currently happening where we could see really cool damage combos coming. But it's actually Nuborak that gets banned out. Not quite sure if that would really have become a big problem, but Cocoon against the Abathar setup against the copy. So let's have a look at what the damage output is going to look like for them. Marke, what is he going to play? Likely going to be the last pick, to be honest. That's what they do a whole lot, unless they feel that pick gets taken away. Samuro! Alright, Samuro on the big map already getting played, and Skog on Tychus. Okay, so we have actually Tychus really quickly picked here. And that is going to be interesting. It's not really what I expected. I expected more so a mage to be dropped early on, but they can still do that for Marke if they want to. That Li Ming pick was oftentimes highly prioritized, especially when we're talking about maps like Battlefield of Eternity, but others as well. And there's the Muradin pick, as I said earlier. With Abathar, he's fantastic. And Swamgrotta with Hanzo. Yeah, we are good and ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. So, last pick, Wind and Rain. What are we going to go for Marke here? What is he going to take on that last pick? Is it going to be the resets? Is it going to be Li Ming? Or are we going to have a bit of a different setup for them here? That's the big one right now. But for the time being, I like the lineup. The Samuro pick, of course, is going to be the one to watch out for, really, how much he can provide with this. And it's a different reset hero. We get Genji. So Genji is going to be the one to try and make the plays here and capitalize on the poke damage. And we are ready for game number 1 in the best of 5. Division as Europe, Wind and Rain, going up against Granite Gaming. Game number 1, Cursed Hollow, Wind and Rain against Granite Gaming. Galgulna on Rega, Starzerk on Tyrael, we have Skok on Tychus, Make on Genji, and Schmilz on Samuro. Henning on Malfurion for Granite Gaming, Svamgarotta on Hanzo, Tai on Zeratul, Fury on Abathur, Tai already heading straight into that auto attack build, and Myrden played by Lauber here in game number 1. Let's see if the Granite of our red team can withstand the wind and the rain that's going to hail down on them in this first game of the series. As I said, auto attack build focus on Zeratul already activated. We're having Wolf Run taken as a level 1 talent, plus the Way of the Blade claimed by Samuro, who is already at the top lane. Samuro is already at the top lane right now, and it's currently going to try and check out what he can accomplish with that. Obviously, we're having Muradin at the same time with his Stormbolt quest already activated here. Oh, and talking Stormbolts and quest, that Rega is down. Okay, that's a dead wolf right there. Someone is getting a new fur coat for himself. Fury is sitting topside, spec straight into the pressurized glance with this. And Samuro is still fine here as Tai comes in. And yep, that Singularity Spike gets quickly dodged out with the illusion. So actually nicely done by Samuro. That was all a really good one. Down to the bottom of the map. We're having Lauber sitting in wait, trying to jump in, and doesn't even get the Stormbolt because Maka is already sitting there, so saying like, yeah, no problem with this. And again, we have obviously already the stacks, 5 on the baseline for Muradin and 2 on the level 1 quest. There's still actually something that a lot of people don't know. You can have different stacks on the 2 talents, even without Sledgehammer as your level 4 talent, which has by now been fixed. This is the new patch. And the reason is simply that if you get a kill after Stormbolt, you get additional stacks for your baseline. And since they just took down Rega in the mid lane, that's exactly what happened here. So something to definitely watch out for, to keep in mind. Some people are not quite familiar with that particular mechanic just yet. But especially if Muradin specs into the Sledgehammer, it should actually not even matter because he will complete the baseline very, very quickly. But then again, we're seeing most of the Muradin players these days just backing away from that. Now, obviously, that previous bug that existed before this patch was fixed, but I'm still not sure if we're going to see that Sledgehammer coming through, and it doesn't. It is the Revelation instead. On top of that, we're now having the Adrenal Overlord with the attack speed that we're going to see then for, well, first of all, Zeratul, obviously, but also for others. It's gonna, what he's focusing on. Psionic Strength now taken on level 4 as well. The bigger they are, standard talent for Tigers to be taken too. And they go for Rega again. They try to go for Galnagulna. And with Tai coming in, they might get that kill, and indeed they do. They get the kill, and that's the second time that they drop Rega. Nice block from Starzerk. Very nice block from Starzerk. I'm really liking that. Keeping Tychus alive here. That was quite important to make that play here from his perspective. We're obviously still also having that Samuro factor that we're going to check out later. One of the things that I also want to highlight real quickly is that there is a good chance right now that we are seeing Skullcracker on level 7 for Muradin. Now, given the axe is chosen more often, even after the patch, than Skullcracker. But if you have Abathur in the mix, and you get the extra speed here on the attacks, then you can actually get those mini-stuns in a little bit more often, and sometimes that triggers Skullcracker to be taken over, given the axe again. So there's definitely an argument to be made for that. It obviously also triggers that extra damage on top of that too, which really helps as well. But right now, we're having top side, still that fight over the first tribute. Abathur's at the bot lane with Samuro. Make jumps in deep, goes for the interrupt. Make pausing the game just as Starzerk is also deep, and he might be in trouble. With Muradin jumping in, he's one Stormbolt away of being taken down here. Henning could drop the roots right now, and Starzerk is really in an awkward position. If he can jump out with an Eldrunes, that would definitely be worth it, but it's still a pretty tricky process for Tyrael to be in, because everybody is just going to home in on him. And especially with Tai sitting here, with Abathur coming in and helping out, that's an issue. So Starzerk is eating a lot of damage, and as expected, goes down. Nicely done. Trade value, on the other hand, against Muradin. Yep, the dwarf is dead, and so we see the 1-for-1 trade here. Tai still gets some assistance from Abathar. Does not connect the singularity spike, but is at least able to cleave Muck a little bit. Goes in again. Tychus is also a little bit far out, and that's a kill right there. Tai falls though, but Genji pays with his life for that. So we have 5 kills against 2 all of a sudden, and 7 versus 7 now on the board. As we are still seeing some damage done at the bot lane by Samuro. Already dropped the tower a little bit lower here. But that is definitely starting to become a very aggressive game here. Very aggressive opening in this game for sure. Still to give him the axe, by the way. So given the axe procs really nicely also with a slow on level 16 if Abathar goes for that, but these days Abathar players more so going to the speed upgrade on the carapace instead of going for the extra slow. So there's a little bit of a trade-off. I mean, again, back in the day you would combo off Muradin with give him the axe and then get the slow from Abathar. That turned him into an absolute monster. Then it shifted away a little bit from that talent, which made Skullcracker a bit more often the weapon of choice. It's not that we see Abathar that often on these maps because normally he's banned out, but the attack speed is definitely something that not only Muradin but also others benefit from. 14 stacks now on the baseline and 8 on the level 1 quest, which is actually pretty impressive because with 14 stacks we have Lauber already in a spot where he's pretty much guaranteed to get his quest completed at a reasonable time. Starzerg with the interrupt. Svamkrota already getting a couple of hits in, completes the quest now as well. They're starting to jump on tutorial once more, and so far that's working out. Zeratul in the meantime has to deal with Samuro at the bottom of the map. And yeah, there's another little attack that we're having against Maka, but they're zoning them out completely, and it seems like we're gonna get that particular tribute unless Maka Swift strikes in. Stormbolt attempt, a little bit too late with the shurikens, and that is 2 against 0 in terms of tributes. Nice start for Granite Gaming. This is actually pretty solid. It really looks great for them right now. So top side, still Svamkrota pushing this out. 10 is obviously, as all so often, gonna be the talent where the game is changing quite a lot, especially if you have a Samuro in your lineup. I mean, this is one of the big talents where he can finally start to unfold a little bit of the strength that he brings to the table in terms of the macro game. Now we're also having the wormhole for Tai, so he's going to be super mobile as the game continues. And here are level 10 abilities, at least for the blue team. A bit of an advantage in experience, thanks to Schmilz, our Samuro player here, who obviously went straight into Illusion Master. This is in North America. This is not where Bladestorm's getting picked. And there we have it, the might of the Narazim. Tai himself is actually getting wrecked by Samuro here. Samuro is doing a lot of work at this point, but down at the bottom Lauber is in trouble and is trying to get out. Fury gets the copy in on Muradin, but that doesn't really change the fact that the front line is gone and Galnagul now gets a free channel here. Or does he? Tai comes in with a singularity spike, Fury hops in again as well, trying to join a little bit more fun here and get the party started, but at the end of the day the result is the same. Wind and Rain is going to get the first tribute for themselves. So nicely done here from the blue team, definitely starting to fight back a little bit more. And didn't even have to go for Odin. I mean, they didn't really have to do anything at this point for that setup. And Tai comes in again and is going to try and get those hits in, especially against Tychus. And this is exactly what we talked about earlier when Abathar was picked. If you go into the auto attack build with Zeratul, boom, victory. If you go into the auto attack build with Zeratul, then obviously the Abathar support is going to be absolutely fantastic, thanks to the pressurized glance, the Adrenal Overlord, Soma Transference later. And this is something that Tai has played a lot in the past. I mean, this is the exact same build that Eve has played multiple times for the team. Other teams have also started to dabble a little bit in that build. If you're not going for a setup where the Void Prison is important because they're trying to execute a wombo, then this is definitely an alternative option for you. And this is currently what they're doing right here. So there's more of that damage dealer that tries to hunt targets down. And he's doing extremely well with this. I mean, at that point, when you're trying to take a look at it, Zeratul is already sitting at 16,000 damage, which is pretty strong. I mean, he is kind of nearly on level with Hanzo, and Hanzo's poke damage is usually inflated by quite a bit. Another attempt to go for the first curse. That's the copy. We're having a double Hanzo in action as level 13 talents are still not available for either team. 12 is currently what we have on the board there. And once again, there comes the jump, but also Schmilz with the attack against Hanzo, nearly dropping him, but gets murdered as that silence of Malfury is still active. A kill against Hanzo as Genji comes in finally and goes straight for the blade, gets the Stormbolt to the face, and the heal from Rhaegar. Perfect setup here. Make is still alive, everybody else is on the run, and Odin zones them out. A trade in kills. Granite Gaming still fighting for this. Make with a channel gets interrupted. Lauber went in deep for this one, maybe a little bit too deep, but Tai is back to business. Top the fountain, and he has that mobility right now with the Singularity Spike, with the Wormhole, and is completed level 1. They're trying to go for the kill against Tigers, and that should be an easy one, especially with the Abathur support, and they get it in Geet. But Zeratul is also dead as Genji does what Genji does best. He kills shit. Rhaegar goes down too, and it's just a slugfest. Heroes are coming back that already died previously and is trying to continue that trend. 9 kills against 4, and the setup is still there. Once again, they're trying to go for Samuro, but he survives. And there's the potential curse now. Henning again with a channel, and this time, especially with 13, they get it through, and the blue team eats that curse. Schmilz in a little bit of trouble. He had problems earlier. We had to actually wait for him a little bit longer since he was apparently reapplying that patch, having them problems also with the accounts as he was attempting to log in. So this does not seem to be his actual account and his actual name. More so a bit of a secondary account for him. And apparently there were problems with the first one. But as that stands, we're having him pausing the game right now, so they are in slight trouble here. And I'm not only talking about him pausing, but you look at the map and they are cursed, and we have immediately Abathur all over the place. And one of the important things if you want to get top value out of the curse is that you still try and split a little bit so that you get that free experience here on the lane. That pause actually gives us an opportunity to talk about something that we oftentimes, that I kind of scratched on the surface a little bit. Now here's the problem. If you curse the opponent and let's say you decide, for example, to go and 5-man the bot lane, right? That means that up here in the middle, those waves are going to collide, and your minions are going to eliminate your opponent's minion wave pretty easily. A second one is going to come in pretty soon and is also going to get destroyed. And that means your own waves are going to build up right here, because nothing can take them down. These minions can't do anything, they get immediately destroyed, these towers are already activated, so there's going to be massive waves everywhere. Your opponent can now come in and take those waves and get the experience for it. But because you are nowhere near it, you don't get any experience for these tiny minion waves with no HP that get annihilated. And that's why we oftentimes see the team that gets cursed not taking a massive lead in experience, and sometimes, shortly after, even falling behind a little bit. And this comes as a result of Blizzard changing the experience, which affected Cursed Hollow quite a bit, because now towers or also forts that you drop don't give you insta experience, it gives you an increase in passive experience that you get over time. And that is a huge trade-off sometimes. Arrow nicely dodged, Rhaegar recognizing it, ties low, gets the heal, and dodges out, and Starzer comes in. There's the silence, and we're having Lauber jumping in again and dying as a result. Down at the bottom of the map, 1-4 down, and that's still a problem. Because obviously, if you lose structures, you still have to deal with the resulting catapult pressure that comes through that. But now that the curse is over, despite the fact that a fort has been eliminated, and a lot more, you can see that there is not really a lot of experience. And now that the waves that I've been talking about just a few seconds ago, that build up everywhere, have been farmed, boom, the blue team is ahead. This is one of the big problems with Cursed Hollow and the experience changes that Blizzard made. Now the advantage that Granite Gaming has now is they took a fort down at the bot lane and they opened up that keep for the taking. So that is definitely something that they can play around later on a little bit. But when it comes to experience, these big leads that we used to see before those experience changes came through are not that often a reality anymore, unless the team that curses an opponent is spreading out nicely and tries to soak all of these lanes or has a couple of clothes that they can play around. So with that said, we're now having the boss at the top lane attack, but it's a bit too late for the party, and that one at the bottom is already doing some work. And on the other hand, here comes another big wave for that keep, and that should actually maybe even take that keep down. I actually think it will take the keep down. With Abathur's help and the catapult here in the back, they're going to get this one. That's a big freebie. That is a big freebie right there. Abathur is currently making sure that they're going to deliver here. And it's pretty much... yeah, that looks... okay, it goes down. Keep is eliminated. That fort is also going to fall. But having that keep destroyed is worth a lot. Samuro then again does what Samuro does best. He is being a pain in the ass. and is currently at the bot lane pushing with that boss and taking that wave clear in. Bronze Beard Rage taken for Muradin. Haven't really talked a lot about the 13s yet, but we don't have too many things that would be surprising here. We're having again the Soma Transference, followed by, as mentioned before, the Adrenaline boost here for him, so no additional slow. Muradin still with a Dwarf launch. They're making the play for the boss again as the bot lane gets defended. This time they're trying to burn it down a little bit quicker, especially with the help of Hanzo, of course. Also 16 are available on both sides. There's the vision again. Starzerk eats that, and they take it. This is going to be an easy one. He does not have the holy ground. Even with it, it would be a bit of a risky play. So the boss is taken and is going to move towards the top side. Bot lane obviously going to getting pushed heavily now against Wind and Rain because of the catapults that are continuously spawning right now. Murden's also nearly done with his quest. Big arrow. 4 heroes hit, but the kill for kill as Hanzo and Samuro both fall. Samuro definitely playing super aggressive here and being super annoying, but I gotta give some credit to Malfurion, to Gulgulnar in particular. Oh, he's honestly murdering Samuro. Like, there were 3 instances already where Samuro pretty much was about to get the kill, and in all 3 of them he got shut down by the silence. This time he actually gets the kill, but he still dies. So that is definitely something where Malfurion absolutely excels right now. The boss went through the fort at the top, by the way, and is now moving towards the key, but the rest of the team is still fighting here. And that tribute is something that you can actually let go, because it would be the first one for Granite Gaming, and only the second one for Wind and Rain. So this is definitely a fight that you don't have to take if you don't want to, and you can try and simply dodge it out a little bit. Double Stormbolt is there, damage against Rhaegar, Sanctification on the ground, everybody jumping out, they have the mobility and they use it, and that boss is still getting value. Yep, this entire thing is gonna fall, and if that continues, Keep is gonna take damage too. Again, the interrupts are there. Everybody's coming back. Malfurion is back to business. Gets attacked against. Vamkorona a little bit low. Shoots the arrow out. Only hits the copies and nothing else. And Henning dies again. I said Gulgulnar earlier. I meant Henning, obviously, on the support. Oh, but the kill. A kill against Genji. And yep, this keep is eating a ton of damage. And if Abathar jumps in and helps out, this is going to be another keep destroy. Even without him, it's going to be close. Lauba is getting attacked there now as well. And he dies just before he can get the kill against Tychus. But Ty is already having his back. And the keep falls. That's the second keep eliminated. 2 keeps down. And the air is getting thinner and thinner up here as Wind and Rain is starting to be in a lot of trouble. Alright, so with this, what else do we currently have here? We have in the mid lane still the fort in play, but now obviously 12 kills against 9. You have a massive advantage for Granite Gaming through the constant catapult pressure on 2 lanes already. Ty is in a bit of trouble, but with the speed of Abathar 16, he's able to move out. And his mobility is obviously insane. I mean, we've seen him jump in and jump out for so many interrupts and then play around that too. Abathar is currently pressuring out the lanes whenever he can with the symbiote as well, creating even more space for his team, since obviously that pressure has to be taken care of by someone on the other side. They have to spend some resources on it, they have to spend some time on that. But there's another tribute that could be taken now by Granite Gaming. They can just poke around it as much as they want here. And in the meantime, Abathar pushes out the bot lane. This is exactly what we're going to see. Look at the Siege Giants. They're taking those too. So now all they have to do is interrupt this over and over and over again and buy themselves some time. But they might be a little bit too late already. Lauba is about to jump in. Hits the Stormbolt. Interrupts. Should get the help from Abathar in a second or he's going to fall. And Lauba's going to die. That's the power of the bigger they are. But again, the kill against Samuro. Ty and Abathar. The Zeratul Abathar setup is just a bit too powerful. The channel went through though, but the fight is still there. Ty is looking at this and saying like, hey boys, there's a couple of free kills right there. Let's go, baby. And the roots on the ground. The cleanse comes through. The Ancestral follows. Ooh, Genji nearly dying. Barely moving out, but the bot lane is also starting to experience a lot of pressure here. And they're starting to push around, but the defense is nearly there. Shield's getting a little bit scratched. Level 20 is now ready too, which gives us the Lunar Shower. Not to be mixed up with the Golden Shower, that's something different. We're having, again, the Twilight Falls taken here as well. I heard that Malfurion is into both, but again, that's rumors and hasn't really been confirmed. But I was told that the Russians have a tape. Twilight Falls is there, and the more important part, the Hive Mind. Hive Mind is going to be big. The one thing that surprised me a little bit is the unstoppable force that we're getting right now. Getting the extra armor at this point. I would have actually expected him to go for the rewind again. But yeah. With that said, level 20 on both sides at this point. And in the mid lane, the fort is eliminated as well. AKA pressure on every single lane. Yes, granted, in the middle not as much because there's only a catapult on every third wave. But still. There we have again. Laubach starting to jump in. Trying to get those interrupts. This time against the copy here. Alright, they're going for it. And... can they get that fight? 10 kills against 13. Swamgrota is low. And Schmilz again. But there's the big red button. And oh boy, that's damage. Talking damage. Macke with 13 hit points. He had 13 hit points. Taiwan Sim, the arrow hits. Gulna. Is he gonna survive? Tries to self-ancestral and is a bit too late. Swamgrota nearly going down. It's a triple kill against the blue team. And the catapults are already pushing. Macke tries to get some resets. He doesn't find anything but death in that encounter. Samuro, the only survivor, and now we're having the top lane pushing as well with catapults. Schmilz already accepting that this is going to be pretty much it. And what does he do? He does the only thing that a Samuro player can do. He's going solo for the core. On the other side though, as you would expect, the mana mule gets already dropped and they're going straight for the play here. So yep, right now we have the attack against the core, and that is going to be game number 1. Nicely done here by Granite Gaming. Very solid game. 17 kills against 10 as they take the lead in the best of 5 against Wind and Rain. Game 1 taken by Granite Gaming. A pretty good game by them, especially on the macro side. That Avatar just totally did work and showcased once again why that hero is banned so often when you play on Cursed Hollow. Great play by them, and especially Samuro never really got in a position where he could do a lot. And I again have to give a bit of a shout out to Henning there. I confused him earlier with Galne Gulnar because Galne Gulnar was right in front of me as it happened. But yeah, Henning on Malfuri, and he shut him down with so many silencers just as Samuro was about to get a kill. Really well done by him. And that was great, a great performance just all around here from Granite. Wind and Rain with a couple of great setups, but now they're banning out Zeratul immediately, just saying, okay, we're done with this shit. Tai is not going to get his hero here. Battlefield of Eternity is our second map. And that should also lead us to an early Hanzo pick, first of all. Li Ming usually highly contested. Well, forget the Hanzo pick. He's banned out. Li Ming highly contested by Wind and Rain in particular. They're usually first pick on this map when they can. And they have first pick, first ban, so I wouldn't be shocked to see Li Ming making a first pick appearance again for them. Macke locks the down whenever. And we're having on the other side now the last ban for Granite Gaming in the first round, and that is Ana. Ana eliminated, so at least no nano boost shenanigans with the mage. Are we still going to see that early living? Yes, indeed we do. And it's actually the sub player that currently locks it in, so that leaves Tracer up. Could see Macke making a play there. Obviously, with that said, there's still a swap round, so depending on the draft, they will swap Macke over into the mage position. There's Henning's Tyrande locked down immediately, more value even on Battlefield of Eternity. That doesn't really come as a surprise either. Ooh, but we already have Alarak in the house. Alright, the High Lord has taken the stage. And yep, this is gonna be good. Alarak in general, just any hero that has more or less an infinite stacking is just awesome to observe and see how far they can go with this. Even after the negatively charged bonus damage got reduced from 5% down to 4%, it is still a pretty impactful hero to have. So with that said, Tyrael already picked together with Urel, so we're having a lot of armor and shields coming out. Macke actually at this point locking in Urel here. Don't really think that's what's going to happen. I still assume that we're going to have a couple of swaps happening here. But what do you ban at this point? I mean, there's again, of course, a couple of heroes that we still have to consider. If you are playing with Tyrael, I could even see a Grey main. They played it before. Don't really think that you would ban that out. Hammer is always a good ban no matter what. You could ban on the support side, maybe even Malfurion, maybe you're worried about Rhaegar with lightning shield, something along those lines. Not really happening there just yet. But what's the ban on the other side? There's still no frontliner. Ty didn't pick a hero yet. You gotta be careful with that Tracer too. They might want Tracer, but there's always a chance that Granite Gaming picks her because Ty played a ton of Tracer. And now that his Zeratul is banned out, his Li Ming is picked away, there's a chance for that. Oh, again the Zarya and Garrosh combo. Alright, the race car Garrosh attempt. The speed barrier on level 4 for Zarya. And then Garrosh is just gonna run all over the place trying to throw people around here. It's pretty much the Garrosh Sprinter version that we're gonna see. Which leaves us with a hero for Ty. When it comes to the majors, he played a lot of Fia in the past too, so that's another one to consider here at least, outside of a potential Tracer pick. But there's Maiev, and there is Stukov. A tether into a silence is what we could see right now. Alright, let's get this baby on the road. Granite Gaming, what are we gonna have as that last pick? What's gonna be for them? What is Ty gonna pick? It's Vala! Alright, new skin and everything. Nice, I'm impressed. We have a Vala game. They played Vala quite a few times already in the past. It was mostly on Inferno Shrines though. And we have also seen the same setup or a similar setup from Washed Up. But now Vala again on Battlefield of Eternity. Ladies, let's jump straight into game number 2 of the series. Game number 2, Wind and Rain, with Skok on Maiev, Macke on Li Ming, Galnagulna on Stukov, Schmilz on Urel, and Starzerk on Tyrael. On the right side of the map, we have Henning on Tyrande for Granite Gaming, we're having Ty on Vala, Lauba on Garrosh, Svamgarota on Zarya, and Fury on Alarak. And we actually feel the heat here, so no particle grenades. Feel the heat instead, and the new Vala skin as well. Alrighty, so we're definitely gonna have a little bit of a look on that. It's actually pretty cool that we see that hero again from Ty. I honestly was expecting something differently, but they played that Vala setup with double support in the past already quite a few times. So yep, Vala is going to try to space around here a little bit. Level 1 talent for her, obviously Monster Hunter. I mean, at this point, this is pretty much the established build for the map that you want to get. There's the stuns, there's the silence on the other hand. That was a good one, tether into it too. But Svamgarota from the side is coming in and says, feel the heat, baby, and dishes out the damage. If you're actually a good Zarya player, you can do a ton of pain with this. You can do a huge amount of punishing in this setup. As it stands on level 1, we're also seeing the Light of Karabor taken, so that particular variation of the build is currently being used here. A little bit of extra healing that we're going to see from her then later on. Usually with some talent synergies down the road. Negatively charged is still a level 4, what I would expect. There's a tether against Ty, silence, and he gets out. But there's the action against Starzerk, and that's the first kill. Nice! Tyrael goes down again. Svamgarota doesn't have the bubble ready, so he can't use the shield to get some extra energy for himself here. But it doesn't matter too much. In terms of the damage output, Zarya, as expected, 4,300 damage. Had full energy earlier as she went in with Feel the Heat and started to take them down here. Definitely quite powerful. And an immediate they immediately capitalize on the fact that they got one kill. But there's also a rotation topside where now Maiev is taking over on the lane here. And that means that we're going to have a trade 1-for-1 in terms of camps that are being taken here. Level 4 talents, that is going to be where a lot of the fun is actually going to start. Because we have, at this point, still a setup where Garrosh is going to get that extra speed. And also towards the top side, a Monkey on his Urel right now. His particular Samuro play, the trademark setup, didn't quite work in game number 1 for them, so they switched it up this time and didn't draft Samuro again. They might still later. Doesn't really seem that the opponent is impressed, but yeah. Svamgarota gets the shield! And they can actually keep him alive. Holy shit, they actually keep Svamgarota alive. Alright, that was special. And there it is, the speed barrier. So that's a fantastic tool not only for Vala to stay alive, but also for Lauba to initiate, because he can now pretty much run up to any hero and flip them over with Garrosh. Absolutely fantastic. So, yep, that is pretty solid setup for them. And it brings us also the puncturing arrow, which now obviously is going to trigger the small quest for even more stacks on the side of Vala. Again, the charged blast on level 4. And then we should actually see on level 7 the only talent that a good Li Ming player will pick on level 7, Calamity. There's definitely a couple of hybrid builds around these days, especially when you look over to North America. We're having a bit of an orb build as well, but even there, Calamity is the talent to take on level 7. It's usually the level 4 and level 16 synergy that you see if that orb hybrid is being chosen. But yeah, Maka is definitely going to go for that. After Dominance has lost some value. And this point, we're having Starzerk actually attacked and nearly taken down. 208 points left for him. Vala getting some extra stacks, or trying to, but also dealing with that Immortal at the same time. Henning is already a little bit low. And the orb with a connect and a kill. Nice. Good reset here from Maka. Nicely done by him. Tai is also in trouble, and he is very much so alone and goes down. Good rage kill there from Starzerk. He himself gets also annihilated though. I mean, by the way, did not get negatively charged on level 4 for Alarak. Instead, it's the show of force that we're seeing at this point. Alright, so gets the extra damage in here too. But yep, at this point, I would have loved to see a couple of stacks coming through with a negatively charged, but not so much. Lauber again with the throws here, trying to dodge what he can. He's going to fall eventually. Tai comes in, tries to go for another stack. He gets one, but they're about to win the Immortal there too. I mean, they're still poking away at that beast. That objective should be taken there. They're going straight in for it. They're going also straight in for Monkey again on his Urel. But there is the final elimination of that Immortal, and the objective drops into the hands of Granite Gaming, as does the level 7 talent. And there we have, first of all, the Calamity taken. There's also the double vault now available with the repeating arrow. So we're gonna have that, and we have the Celestial Attunement plus the explosive barrier at the same time here. Great for the front line, obviously, as well. And they're going to try and go at least through the wall here. I mean, early Immortals don't really do too much usually, but at this point you still want to try and take at least the towers and also the gate out. If you can take the fountain, that's another bonus. And if you can be as aggressive, that's to actually get the fort itself. That's usually a massive, massive early game win. There's already the tether, straight back into the silence, but feel the heat, baby! And psst, down goes Li Ming. Swarm Grota with full energy again, and I mean, he is just melting noobs away right now. 17,000 damage for both of them, Vala and for Zarya. Swarm Grota survives again. Vala still with the extra damage as they're trying to go for fort and for fountain. And they should get both here. They should definitely get both. I mean, there's very little that can be done, and Tai is already zoning everybody else out. He's going straight towards the front here. And at this point, he even has 7 stacks on his level 4. So maybe going to get even a little bit more out of this. At the bottom of the map, Alarak has the entire lane to himself pretty much, and is saying, boys, I'm gonna just clear this wall if that's okay with you. Then a great spot. Level ahead, 2 kills ahead, 4 taken down. It's pretty solid. This is honestly a pretty solid start here for them. And again, the Feel the Heat setup for Zarya is also fantastic. Marco already on the run. He obviously knows that there's someone coming his way. And especially with that speed barrier taken, you can never feel safe at this point. You always have to account for the fact that there is a chance that your opponent is just going to try to jump in and take you down with the, with the Garrosh flip. And talking about that Garrosh flip, they're actually playing super aggressive around it, just simply because they have level 10 any second. So as long as they can do something with those heroic abilities, then a great spot. They have a catapult and also the Khazra camp at the top, so they're nearly taking one of the towers down already. Either way, this is low. And now Monkey, it's time to die, baby! Because there's a rotation coming and he just doesn't read the signs. Nobody seems to have told him that there's a little bit of trouble coming his way, and now we're having a 5-man commitment against him. And yep, you can imagine how that's gonna go. Yeah, that's a dead Urel. And with that, now we're having 6 kills against 3. There might be another one. Starzerk doesn't get stunned out. Eats a lot of damage. The taunt is in. And there's the Zarya ult just to confirm it. Starzerk goes down. Was about to escape here, but falls just as the level 10 ability gets taken up by Wind and Rain. And obviously, thanks to Tai, we're already having excessive damage on the Immortal for Wind and Rain. Yep, that Monster Hunter is doing extreme work. Repeating arrow coming in, boom, 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 double arrow, and zip! Down it goes. Talking about zip. Down here, Svamgrotta still defending, doing his thing. And we're having still a slight play here. Fury jumps in and a shove. But that's the self-stun, of course, as well. And Gulnar, even with the silence here on Stukov, falls. Maiev in trouble. And gets towards the fountain and taps it quickly. But yeah, it's tricky right now. And I don't really think they have a chance of doing anything here. Neither stopping this one, nor taking a lot of HP of the other team's Immortal. Because the blue team loses theirs so quickly that there's absolutely no chance for them. 11 stacks now also for the level 4 on Vala. So that's solid work already done here on the damage side. Svamgrotta drops the shield on himself, walks into the range of the 4 to get his energy up again, so that he has a little bit more as he moves in. And yeah, it's already starting to burn Starzerk down again. You look at the damage output, and Zarya has by now taken the top damage numbers in the game itself. Still looking for a throw here. Lauba running around. Might need a little bit of assistance and gets the speed barrier right away. Nice move here by Monkey, but Sanctification is already out. They're throwing it around again. There's the cage, the taunt, and the triple kill. It's a quad, 2 on each side dying, as we see Alarak and Garrosh eliminated. But now, once again, Granite Gaming on the runners. They're looking for more, but Tai's in trouble. If he dies, then it's all over, at least for the time being. Starzerk escapes. Maiev does not. She's dead. Gulnar is barely getting past that fort and the wall. But that Immortal isn't done yet. The Immortal has already breached the fort and is now breaching through the wall and going straight for the keep. And they might even get this one. I mean, honestly, they should get this one. I don't think there's a chance that they're not getting, let's put it like that. And here comes the next attack here. Wind and Rain is looking to get some kills here. Keep is down. Tai doesn't even have a problem, because Schmilz kinda, or Monkey kinda missed his jump there. And that's the first keep in the game. And they're going for Tyrael and wreck him. Oh, he was trying to hearth back here and he was just too close. So now he is taken down once again. We're looking at 12 kills against 5. The momentum that's been built up by Granite Gaming in this particular series is just getting insane. Massive pressure against Wind and Rain, and they are currently getting murdered here. Yeah, it's again also that slight battle when it comes to the damage output between Zarya and Vala, but Zarya is currently winning that quite handily. Honestly, every single time I see Svamgrotta on Zarya, it is a lot of fun. I mean, that guy is just killing it. He has different builds that he drops whenever the circumstances demand it. Has a very, very good understanding there and always has an impact with this. But now the 13 talents are at least ready for Wind and Rain to try and counteract this and see if they can maybe fight back. And the virulent reaction is a big tool for it. This, on the other hand, might be a problem, because Starzerk is dead again. Tyrael just gets wrecked over and over again. And you can't even blame him. As soon as he gets thrown in, he just gets perma-stunned. He got taunted, he got stunned, then he also got, again, silenced by Alarak. I mean, there's nothing to do for him. He's just dead. And there's the kill against Monkey on Urel, and with that they can now focus on the top lane. Maybe not get the keep, but they can at least break through the wall. And that would make the next Immortal just so much stronger that spawns in 28 seconds. And they're taking that wall. They are taking that wall like there's no tomorrow. Yep. Also another play here by Fury over the wall at this point. In comes Maiev. That wall is eliminated, and still the attempt to, of course, go for the objective, I would say, right now, since the 5 versus 5 is pretty much inevitable if they stay longer. As Monkey is about to respawn, and it's still even talents. I mean, yes, there is a 2-level lead, but it's even talents. You gotta be careful with this. They're protecting this a little bit longer. They're fighting it out. There's the silence. Svamgrotta stays in it just for another second to get a bit more energy. Vala completes the level 4, which is obviously annoying. That's an additional bounce now as well. Tai already moving around here the entire time. In comes Tyrael. Maiev is in trouble. Is a little bit too deep. Tries to get the tether. Does. But there's the damage. This time not a lot of energy on the side of Zarya on the other hand. So the damage output is rather small. And they're still making the plays here. Tai rushing around, trying to see if he gets another one of those arrows connected. There's the throw, the taunt, and the kill against Starzerk. But that's trade value, baby. Whoop, whoop. It's not enough, but they at least get one kill. The reset and the second kill. 2-4-2 at this point, as we have Maiev and Tyrael down, but so are Tyrande and Garrosh. The problem is that Stukov has also been eliminated in the meantime from the back, and they're just pressuring even more. And the bot lane is pressuring too. I mean, it's not only that this entire game is just... Oh my god, what a setup! Fury, you monster! With the Alarak setup right there. Bot lane catapult does do work, and they just go for that keep again. Minions are pushing in, and they're like, objective? What are you talking about? Isn't this Dota? Isn't this LOL? What are these objectives? Oh, this is heroes! Oh shit! We should probably go into the middle and take that. Kind of forgot about what we're playing here. Starzerk, the sanctification! Tai! Doesn't get the kill and finally goes down. Oh, 16 talents are ready, and that gave us also the frost shot for Vala. As you can see here, we're having also the mortal combo. And yep, we're seeing again the gain chain right there. 9 kills against 18. There's a big wave at the bottom, by the way, that is building up. That's a double catapult, and Tyrael already moved back to deal with that. Laura again on the run here. Can he actually get away from this? Ooh, and yes, he can. And he's looking for the throw now too. Oh, the big boy taunt. 3 taunted, but where's the damage? Vala is still not there, but Alarak is starting to come in and get some value. Not quite as much as you would expect though, in that choke point. Vala is back to business as well, and still has the strafe up. Alarak is low, but they get the kill against Li Ming. No more resets. And that's a lot of the threat already gone. There's the slow thanks to the frost shot. Catapult's already on the core here at the bottom. Another big setup from Fury, and another kill that follows. And the core is losing HP more and more. Well, shields for now, but HP soon. There's another kill, as we have now a full quad kill, and they're already starting to move, I want to say towards the core, but apparently they want to hunt Starzerk instead. And maybe... yeah, sorry. But you're dead again. Starzerk gets eliminated. Vala says, okay, I got the immortal boys, I'm going to take that. And in the meantime, the keep at the top lane takes even more damage, which makes the next attack with the immortal, obviously, more deadly. So yep, that's going to be a halftime show, an easy one at that. 1-0 lead already in the best of 5 for Granite Gaming, and it is a pleasure to cast them again. These guys are definitely putting some coordinated effort into this. And yeah, they work like a well-oiled machine. There's no other way of putting this. They're doing fantastic here. That's an easy executed immortal. And we're talking 15 minutes in, right? So this... Get wrecked, kid. Nice setup, full isolation again. Maiev is also down. Fury survives once more with barely any hit points, but he survives. They're trying to go now for, well, Monkey again. And Yrel can hoppity-hop all she wants, but at the end of the day, she is going to fall here. There's the ult. There's a bit of a beast step. Doesn't change anything. Vala is already at the other side. And it's a party. You are the dancing queen. Is he? Yeah, I think he is. So, with that, we're having Stukov eliminated. That's 27 kills against 9. I mean, obviously at this point, Wind and Rain know that it's over. If you lost that immortal, you don't have a keep to speak of anymore, then you know it's just lights out. So Stukov, it's not like he threw the game there or anything. He knew that this was just absolute lights out, and that's exactly what we're witnessing here. A 2-0 lead for Granite Gaming with another dominant performance in game number 2 on Battlefield of Eternity. They're nearly looking at 30 kills here. Fantastic performance and a well-deserved victory. Wind and Rain with their subs today, they need a different angle if they really want to take a map here, and it's going to be difficult as we're heading into game number 3. Time to rock and roll, ladies! It is Wind and Rain versus Granite Gaming in game number 3 on Towers of Doom. And so far, Granite Gaming has been killing it. And they've been killing their opponents in the process too. Wind and Rain so far haven't really found a solution to that problem here. And now the big question is simply, what are they going to do differently on this map, on Towers of Doom? First pick, first ban, go over to Wind and Rain, which means that Granite Gaming has chosen the map. And yeah, I'm ready for a little bit of a extra. Zeratul gets banned. The question is, do you still ban Abathur? And normally the answer to that question is, hell yeah, you do. So, who's going to ban that out? Granite Gaming, that could be the team, just simply because we're having first pick, first ban for Wind and Rain. But, yeah, I'm definitely up for a bit of a Wild Towers of Doom game. I wouldn't mind this series to go at least to game 4, game 5. That would be awesome. And there's the Abathur ban. The Slug gets banned out. He had his moment of glory on map number 1 on Cursed Hollow. But then again, everybody is saying, sorry dude, you are a little bit too strong. Slugging around there. But yeah. Personally, if I was Blizzard, I would rework Abathur a little bit, would give him another ult, I would call it Bitch Slap. And if you actually tunnel behind someone and slap them, they insta-die. And I think that would be pretty amazing. Could do something like if you bitch slap tunnel into behind an opponent, you have a little bit of an extra malus against speed, so you have to actually like jog up to the tunnel and you push, slap them around, and that's an insta kill right there. I'm not quite sure what you think. I think it's an ingenious idea. It would not be OP at all. It would be incredibly funny to cast, and the Slug would reign supreme. We would have full gangster life here. He would just like drop the sunglasses all day long. But with Monkey on the other side, we're also having Samuro banned out right now. Hanzo gets picked first here from Wind and Rain, so an insta pick from them. And let's see what we have from Granite Gaming. Is it going to be the Tyrande pick early on again? Is that what we're going to see here? An early Tyrande for the boys, or with Henning? Quite likely. But yeah, maybe already. Could we get a Tracer today? Anna Liming. Good point. Anna open and Liming is there too. So, yep. That's right there. Nano boosted Tai Liming. Okay. I don't want to be the backline of Wind and Rain right now. That looks like we're gonna see a couple of resets here. How do you stop that? You stop that with stuns and you stop that with direct damage, because, well, if she's dead, she can't do damage. Okay, that's a crybaby. Anduin in play. You rel together with that. Okay. Nick from the Backstreet Boys is finally being picked again. And what are we banning out right now? Frontline? Could ban definitely in the bit of a frontline. Actually, it's interesting. We don't have any frontline bans here. We have so many games lately where we are seeing full bans on tanks, where Abathur gets... Anubarak gets banned out, you have Dibbles banned out immediately. In this case, so far, pretty much nothing. Leo on the side lane gets eliminated, but outside of that, we're still having every single main tank still in play. Maiev at least also gets eliminated here. So, let's see. And we're also having... I mean, what are we going to get for Lauba? Is that going to be... Are we going to see a side lane ETC actually again from them? That wouldn't make sense, to be honest. Side lane ETC with that setup. Stage dive in. There we go. And the man with the beard. The man with the beard. Alright. People were suggesting I'm just jealous of Anduin because he rocks that hair and it's just too glorious. And you know what? They are not wrong. They are not wrong. Personally, I would shave his head like I did with Smexy 2 years ago. But yeah. Can't argue with the facts there. There's my Anubarak and Starzak actually going into Mephisto. That probably ends up in the swap round or after the swap round in the hands of Macke. I would be a little bit shocked if it didn't, but we still need one more pick for Granite Gaming. And what's it gonna be? Svamkarotta. What are we gonna see from him? Actually, we haven't also seen a lot of Junkrat this game now that I think about it. I don't really expect that necessarily to be his pick, but they could go for that if they want to have a little bit of poke and Liming go in as the finisher. That Ethrol! And that could, in theory, could that be Crash Lightning? In theory, yes, because you have an offlaner, but I wouldn't really expect it here. Depends a little bit on how they want to rock it now. But again, it's game number 3, could be the last game of the series. Granite has been killing it here, and let's see if Wind and Rain is actually going to be able to fight back at this point. Let's jump straight into Towers of Doom. Game number 3, Towers of Boom. So, Galdegulnar on Anduin. We have Skok on Hanzo, and Mak on Mephisto, Starzak on Anubarak. And a monkey on Urel. His Samuro banned out in this game. But then again, granted, even as Samuro made it through the draft on Cursed Hollow, didn't really have the impact that they were hoping for. Granite Gaming, on the other hand, on the right side, with Henning on Ana, Fury on ETC, Lauba on Murden. We have Tai on Li Ming. And on top of that, Svampgarotta on Thrall. Alright, block party chosen for the cow. Moo. And an immediate pause here as apparently, yeah, look at that. The War Chief is again a little bit late to the party here. Yeah, that's always a little bit annoying. If you kill too many members of the Alliance the day before, you know, you got a little bit tired, you got to bed a little bit too late, and then the next day you're kind of sleeping in a bit too much, and all of a sudden you're late to the party. It happens all the time. So then you're late to the battle, it gives you a bad rep as well, and then yeah, just like this, you're replaced as the War Chief and someone like Sylvanas takes over. It's honestly a little bit annoying, but hell, what can you do, right? So, yeah, it's just like some of the shit that we have to deal with here. With that said, though, we have again the bald strategy here for Nick Carter as the level 1 talent. Also, full focus actually into the Nerubian armor at this point. So, right now, we're having no globes taken with the Regeneration Master on level 1, so he's not going to be able to rely onto that heavy hit point pool later on in the game. You get that spell armor, which is pretty awesome against Li Ming, of course, and depending on the talents that we're seeing, generally speaking, against Thrall, it isn't too bad either. I mean, there's going to be a lot of spell damage from him too, one way or another. The main part is really going to be how much damage is Mephisto going to be able to push out there. It's kind of the Make special that other teams have then adopted as well, after they've seen how successful Make is with that particular hero. But right now, it's starting to not be as great anymore as it was in the past. The combo that we are, more so importantly, looking forward to is Ana with Li Ming. That nano boost is something that we definitely have to watch out for. Because Tai is a brutal Li Ming player. He kind of made his name for himself. And kind of with Tracer, I want to say, that was in the Nations Cup when they played for UK. And yeah, in the meantime, this is happening. But as this pause is actually starting, guys, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, also just a quick shout out again that YouTube actually unlocked the membership function for my channel. And ever since then, I actually started to put in the spoiler protection again for the videos. So if any kind of the series, being a best of 3 or best of 5, ends early, I usually add some dead space right now, but as I explained in the past, that actually has a pretty negative impact on the YouTube algorithm, on the popularity on the videos, and is also a ton more work. So if some people would consider supporting the channel and hitting that join button underneath the video, that would be absolutely amazing. If you can't do that, then like the video. If you enjoy the commentary, that at least helps a little bit with the algorithm as well. But yeah, support would definitely be appreciated to help to make this a little, first of all, possible in the future, and also make this a little bit easier on me. But with that said, we're having on this end apparently a little bit of a longer pause, so we should be back in a second, hopefully, as this potential last map is going to unfold in front of us. And we're back to business, as we finally have the party starting here with Echo of Elements. As kind of expected. I mean, I talked about it a little bit during the draft, so we're actually not seeing the Crash Lightning setup. Again, theoretically you could have done it since you have Fury on the side lane ETC, but that's not quite what we're seeing here, so Echo of Elements was the more likely talent to be picked here. When we're talking about Crash Lightning, it's usually Volskaya and Battlefield exclusively where we see that fine value. But again, the rotation's already starting up, as we're having the team move down to the bottom. The top lane is established as the 1 versus 1. And with that, we're now having Urel and also ETC set up there. But Urel is already starting to rotate in, so there's actually a chance that they're going to try and set something up against Svampgarotta here at any point. So far, not the case. But I'm a little bit excited to see how much, especially that Make factor on Mephisto is going to change things. Because if he is able to really pull it off for them and win a map for them, they might be able to gain that momentum that they needed. And again, they play also obviously with subs today, so if they needed a couple of warm-up games in order to get that synergy together, that would obviously help there too. There's a bit of a good example also, by the way, where that spell armor can come in handy pretty easily. But it's just camps that are taken for now. 1 minute and 30 seconds in here on that side, and well, as it stands, we're still having both of them running around with the pumpkins. Up towards the top lane currently, the 1 versus 1 battle straight on the point. And Fury is just dancing around here, waiting for Urel to finish the job. And Thrall is rotating in, so all that he has to do is hold this for a little bit longer, but that also means that the bot lane, it is a 4 versus 3. And the camp has been taken. So Thrall came here for pretty much no reason whatsoever, with the exception of defending against those pumpkins, I guess. But generally speaking, it's pretty much a win at this point. Because right now it's 4 versus 4. You have 2 of the walls already damaged thanks to the camps that he took. Having still again the focus from Mephisto into the Lightning Nova here on level 1 and on level 4. And with that said, at the top lane, still a little bit more pressure since some of the pumpkins are still around, but now the triple altar is also starting up. Starzak is eating quite a bit of damage, as we're seeing Lauber again with the Stormbolt after another. Level 4 talent, as already previously, the Reverberation taken right there. And no, the kill! Ana against Hanzo. I was just about to say, he seems like he's gonna get away there. That's not quite the case. So good kill at the perfect moment in time. And it looks like they're going to try and play for the top left as well, as Fury is moving in. Down here, Starzak has to abandon the channel too. In comes Anduin, so he's going to try and help out a little bit. Hammer to the face, and the cow gets pushed out quickly. But Anubarak is now also part of that little setup, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade after all. A little bit different than what we usually see, but still a slight lead for Granite Gaming as they are channeling through the second altar and get now the extra 4 hit points off the core of their opponent. So with that, level 7 is the next milestone for the players, with the next talent coming up. Good stacks also for Muradin again, another kill coming through too, just after the Stormbolt, so an increase once more for the baseline stacks, sitting at 14 already. 2 stacks on the Frostwolf pack on level 4, by the way, so that's another big win for them here, if they can complete that too. Nice job by Fury, pushing Urel out as she's trying to jump in there. Not getting a chance. And with this, we're now having at the bottom of the map another slight play here, as we're already seeing Lauber with another Stormbolt, but this time dodged out. The Wolf, on the other hand, connects, but they cannot get that kill. And that's another stack for Thrall, since he got reset just a few seconds earlier. And Marke is... I was just about to say, he's pretty much dead, and then Nick Carter makes his little move there and pushes him back in. Honestly, this one ability alone is what makes Anduin kind of cool. I mean, he is still a whiny crybaby, but it's an awesome ability, and it's kind of fun. He makes a lot of cool plays, can really save a lot of his allies, so I kind of enjoy a good Anduin player for sure. That, on the other hand, is something that even he can't figure out. Anduin down, and that is a full triple kill. This was really just Wind and Rain being caught between a rock and a hard place there. I mean, they got hammered into the ground, and Marke is also dead. That's 6 kills against 0. That one move was an absolute slaughter. That hurt. That hurt a lot. I mean, it didn't look too bad at the beginning, but I think they just did not realize how close the remaining heroes were, and then they were just attacked from all sides. Now this one is going to be attacked though by Galnagulna. Yeah, there's Urel also around. Are they going to get it? Anubarak is in, and that turned quickly. Tai is about to fall. Oh my god, the grenade actually keeps him alive. Ana again with a save. She herself might be in trouble. Tai on 30 HP. That camp got taken earlier already. Even more damage from Tai. Muradin down. Thrall completes the quest at least. Tai tries to go for the kill, but can't quite secure it. And by the way, they didn't get the second altar either. So they were greeding a little bit too hard here. They did not get the camp, and they did lose out on one of the altars. Good job getting the 4 kills, but then they threw the advantage away. They still are ahead, but again, they did only get one of the 2 altars, and they didn't get the camp that they were trying to go for. So they definitely overplayed their hand a little bit, as far ahead as they were there, and that gave Wind and Rain a ticket back into the show. Still behind, still looking at an opponent that will have a level 10 advantage over them in a few seconds, but it wasn't bad at all. Yep, Skog with a nice move. Is the Wolf going to get connected? Yes, and that might be a kill. There's the slide, and there's the kill, and Hanzo dies. Good job originally there, holding back the Stormbolt for a long time, not overlapping the Wolf with a Bolt either, and then getting the kill there. Haymaker for Muradin. Muradin goes for the full Haymaker build. He's going bowling at this point. Alright. So, for now, we're also having, with the level 7 talent, Moral Compass. We have Power Word Shield, and there's the Light Bomb. Light Bomb set up with Urel. Okay, I could definitely do some solid work here. Let's see if they can get some damage through with that. Maybe even a kill there in the middle. 20 stacks on the other hand on Muradin's baseline. Keep that in mind, because that's going to play a big role for the cooldown reduction. And talking cooldown reduction, that's obviously where the reverberation comes into play as well. That's going to be big too. So now one kill against the Nubarak, second one against Urel, the slide, and it's a party, baby! And that might be another kill. It is, but not for the red team. They are losing one, they might lose two. Yes, in comes Marke. Marke destroyed them. Went in with the ult, just in tower range, and now we have Li Ming, Ana, and ETC, all three of them dead. Baseline quest at least completed for Muradin. They're trying to zone out here at the side, but Marke gets the interrupt. Yep, there's the Haymaker, and Win is in a little bit of trouble, but so is Lauber, and Lauber, okay, gets out. But that was close, because Hans was already in the area. Okay, there's the cocoon, there's the stun, Marke gets the second channel. And all of a sudden, we're looking at a completely different game, because Wind and Rain has just taken the lead on the core points. They've just dropped their opponent down to 24, and they still hold 28 points themselves. Not bad, my friend. There's a lockdown against ETC, against Nubarak on the other hand, as ETC comes in from the top and tries to get the slide in. But yeah, they went a little bit too aggressive with that particular move. So, game 3. How is that going to pan out now? At this point, we're having camps up again for both of the teams, which triggers an immediate aggression here, as they're starting to move in. Henning is already sitting there, yeah, Lauber is anchoring the play, nobody is going for the camp on the left side. And just as I say, they're starting to rotate in, but they're a little bit late to that party. The one on the right side got already taken. There's the invader as expected. Nice jump as Hanzo moves out. And Nubarak is coming in. It could be a 4 versus 4. Arrow only taken by Muradin in the rear. And they are zoning this out for now. 2 pumpkins already taken out. ETC is gonna have the mosh pit up in a second, but since he doesn't have stage dive, he can't join the fight. And Urel already went in. There's the light bomb. That didn't really do a whole lot. Muradin, oh, gets locked down. And yep, that's the end of him. The dwarf is dead again. Down here, the attempted play against Henning, and Henning is going to die. 6 kills against 9, behind in kills, ahead everywhere else. Ahead in structural damage, ahead in talent, and yeah, good setup for Wind and Rain. They might not get the kills, but they're winning the game here. Alright. With that, we're having an extra talent for them. There's still a bit of aggression. ETC is still in play. He's also looking, of course, for another mosh pit. I'm not quite sure if he's going to find that, though. Bit more poke from Skog. But, yep, Tai is trying to get another combo out, but this time it doesn't hit anything. And there's another 4 shots fired. 28 against 20. Yeah. All of a sudden, Wind and Rain is looking a lot better here. They're looking quite good at this point. 31,000 damage for Hanzo. Thrall himself, also on 31k. But there's another... Okay, silence the... Starzer gets a lot of damage pushed onto him. But yeah, the sleep came out because he could have tried and forced the fight with a good cocoon. That could still be a thing there. But either way, there's an interrupt again as they're trying to stop those pumpkins from connecting with the bell tower. And they're moving in up here at the top, and that mosh pit is a lot better, and then Svampgrotta ruins it with the sun. So, yeah, good A synergy right there. If I'm Fury, I'm a little bit tilted right now, because that mosh wasn't bad at all. Yeah, in comes Marke. Has the Haymaker still up. Doesn't go for the Haymaker kill just yet. Actually, he did. He used the Haymaker right there. And can, of course, now get also a little bit more cooldown reduction here. Nice attempt, but didn't quite work out. The pumpkins still connect with the bell tower. But we have, at least with that kill, now a bit of momentum again in the hands of Granite Gaming. They lost a lot of that when they were pretty much wrecked in that one fight, but now they are going for the camps again. Muradin has now also the Bronze Beard Rage on level 13. again, he went into the heroic ability cooldown reduction on his level 4, amongst other things, with a reverberation. And that, of course, is going to very likely give him a double setup with the Haymaker over here. Try to use it against Gulnar. The 16 is going to be great for him. Once that Lauber has a Dwarf launch, he can obviously jump way deeper and try and get the perfect position against some of those backline heroes to push them into the team and get the hits in there. Triple altar phase at this point too. And up at the top, we're actually seeing a 2-for-1 setup. But they shouldn't really go too hard for the kill here, because there's the channel already. That's 4 shots fired. And yep, there's one at the top left. Zone out attempt and another push. And the channel is through. So the top right is what's getting fought over. They're trying to go for the kill after all. Arrow misses. Yeah, but the entire setup is still there. And the light bomb values from Grotta is on the run, but he is going to fall. Down he goes. And now we might see another big win over the altar from Wind and Rain as they are going towards the top right. It's a 5 versus 4 though, so it's not quite as bad as the situation before, and the position is a little bit better for Granite Gaming. But can they really get the channel there? Nuburak isn't there yet. They're already trying to. Lauber gets interrupted for now. It's the Stormbolt on the other hand. That was a good one. Fury is still dancing around there too, trying to come in from behind. Yeah, has to push them away here. There's another save, but the interrupt should still be ready. Nuburak dives in, Stormbolt eats it and gets hammered straight into the bell tower here. That was an important one. There's the mosh pit and it gets interrupted as well, but still getting a little bit of value. Oh, the kill against Macke, nice. Good job. Mephisto down. There was a 4 versus 5 and now Swamp Grotta is coming in again. 16 is nearly ready for both of the teams. There's another attempt to get the Haymaker back, but Urel is dead already. Haymaker on an 8-second cooldown. The channel is starting on ETC. And we're seeing another Stormbolt and a full elimination of Nuburak. And Noob got wrecked as they go straight for the Beetle and take the Buck down. And now we have 16 points against 20. And it could be even if they take the boss. And that's exactly what they're doing here. They're going to claim this one. Nice job by them. So once again, 4 shots fired. And we are dead even in the game. Outside of the kills. 13 against 7. That's what we're seeing right now. Also with the level 16 talents, as already predicted earlier. The Dwarf launch taken. Better positioning for the Haymaker. Also, Alpha Wolf. And on 16, the Mirror Ball. Okay. In the meantime, camps. Camps taken. Taken again. Looking at the damage output. Also, by the way, 3 deaths pretty much all across the board here on the side of the blue team. With the exception of Anwin and Nuburak. But when it comes to the damage output, it's Liming with 50,000 at this point. It is absolutely topping those charts in the game. Chem gets taken. Thrall is closing in. Swamp Grotta is sitting here. So far he died only once. Arrow is coming in. Hits him hard though. Fury is trying to help him out a little bit. Can he pull that off? And Thrall gets annihilated. Alright, Thrall down. And ETC is trying to get out. And, well, can't really do too much here. Was at this point trying to go for the mosh pit, by the way, but got interrupted. So probably better this way. And there's the dive again as Starzer comes in. Stormbolt zones, but doesn't hit anything. Ty jumps out, survives for now. Ooh, nearly gets dropped by Mephisto. But yeah, Liming is still in play. Liming still in play. And over here to the left side, the pumpkin's taken out by Hanzo. Single altar spawning in a second. And obviously with 2 heroes down, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. There's another 4 shots fired against the red team as they're falling low again on that cohort. 16 to 12 at this point. It's the damage power, the damage setup at the bot lane. That's most of what we're seeing here. They're trying to take that bell tower out so that they get the momentum. But Starzak is eating those combos the entire time. It's all about Hanzo with the arrow again, because he just now has the ult back up. If he can connect that against someone here and they can dive in with especially a noob, they might make a possibility for a play. Yeah, talking arrow, there it is. Arrow comes in. Here's the setup again from Mephisto. In comes the Sundering and ETC. Can he get out? He might not survive. Macke with a kill, and yeah, ETC just came back and he's dead again. They tried to make the play for Mephisto, but they just couldn't close the deal, and then the help comes from the bot lane as the rotation hits, and now it's 18 versus 18. The kill gap is closing, and on top of that we're seeing the pressure at the bot lane. pretty much resulting in the bell tower this time going to be taken. So it's going to be 5 against 3 points. And yes, there we go. Go in, take him down, and that's a big lead in momentum. And it's also a lead in experience right now that we're looking at. Wind and Rain is at 19.5, pretty much a level ahead over their opponent. So there's the bell tower, and it spawns obviously at the worst position possible for Granite Gaming, at the bot lane. Between the two bell towers that they just lost. So now ETC is back, but honestly, they might have to let that one go. Try and find a little bit of value somewhere else on the map, but it would drop them down to the single digits. So are they going to make that play? They have 9 more seconds to try and head over there. Starzerk is sitting tight, and there's the channel. They let this one slide. That's a safer play for sure. Question is, can they still take the game though? Because they are falling heavily behind right now. Yep, that's the channel, and that's single digits on the core. That's actually 7 that they are dropping down to with the bell tower converted. So nicely done, at least for the time being. 32 stacks on Muradin, by the way. But level 20 is now also going to be super close. And that means we might even see a few of those pumpkins make it through, depending how aggressively those are getting pushed in with 20 once that advantage connects, because just now Wind and Rain has taken another camp here. This is now starting to move in down here at the bottom. So yep, Storm Talons should be ready, and there they are. ETC is trying to claim some experience at the top side for them too. And with that we're having Varian's Legacy. And there's one hit. Varian's Legacy comes in. With that, we're now also having Seraphim. And they attempt to go for the Haymaker. Sundering saves Lauber because he was in a bit of trouble. He got pretty much interrupted the second he tried to go in for that Haymaker move. And it's a pretty powerful one once that you are close to the death zone, obviously. If you jump behind an opponent and push them in and they don't have an instant escape, then they are pretty much guaranteed to fall. But yep, there's the level 20 now on both sides. And with that, we're going to see Repulsion. That Stormbolt hitting. Trying to go for Starzerk here. What else are we going to get? Nano Boost obviously now upgraded as well. Plus we see the Bolt of the Storm already taken. No Death Mosh this time. No Death Metal here. And the Rewind for Muradin. Alright, it's time to shine here. How much can they pull off with this? Stormbolts keep getting dodged here. Double ults at the top and still no reclaiming of the bottom bell tower. That still hasn't happened. And now they're all starting to rotate towards the top. They leave the bot lane alone. They're just trying to get those at least one. They need one. The problem is, to be honest, they need 2. If they don't take both, then they are down to 1 point on the core, and that's just not enough. There's the Stormbolt. They interrupt again the entire time. They're absolutely wrecking Lauber. Nice Mosh. That's a good one. But the interrupt is there, and Lauber is about to fall, and Lauber goes down. Nano Boost on Liming, but it doesn't look like Tai can get the kills here. He's trying to get some damage through, but this is honestly looking like a bit of a lost cause at this point for Granite Gaming. Wind and Rain is wrecking them right now. ETC is about to die. There's at least one of the bell towers converted, but obviously there's a boss on the map too, so either way this should be game. They're already trying to go for the channel. They go for the channel, they channel it through, and that is going to be a single point on the core of Granite Gaming, and we are looking pretty much at game number 4 right now. I am mind blown that they tapped the fountain first. Okay, thank God. I was for a second really thinking they are not going boss. How is that even possible? But they pre-tap, and then they go for the boss. It's a 5 versus 3. The only thing that can destroy them here would honestly be Liming with insane resets. That's the only thing that can happen there. But they're trying to go for the kills right now. Svamgrotta is low. Svamgrotta is dead in the waters and dies a painful death at Thrall. And with that, the game ends, and this is going to bring us into game number 4, as we have a victory for Wind and Rain on the 3rd map. Nicely done by them. Arrow, again, not connecting here. But yeah, 13 kills against 13, and this is it. Wind and Rain starting to put their points onto the scoreboard. GG, and well played by the blue team. Game number 4. Wind and Rain has done it. They put their name onto the scoreboard. And we're going to have Granite Gaming trying to close out the series in the best of 5 now with a 3-1. After it didn't quite work out for them on the last map on Towers of Doom here. So let's have a look at Inferno Shrines. It's a map where I would definitely expect Mephisto to potentially be banned out, because it is a hero that Muggle loves to play, and on Inferno Shrines you get a lot of value with that hero. Shocking. gets banned out immediately. First thing that they're doing right there. And what else are we gonna get? For now, we have for Wind and Rain. I mean, on their end with the bans. So, okay, when it comes to the bans, again, you could ban out Hanzo, for example. Again, Zeratul is something that they are just absolutely disliking ever since he got picked in the first game. And they got wrecked with that. So that's the first thing that's happening there. Ana got banned out reliably in most of the previous games too, so that's another one that could happen. Maiev, again, played by Wind and Rain. Another one to be banned out here. If not banned, then I would say Hanzo is definitely going to make a reappearance here. We could see Make on still Genji. There's a Samuro ban against Monkey, okay. So taking him out. And, well, finally, we're going to see Henning losing access to his Turanda. Those are pretty sick setups that we have there. But yeah, things are actually looking pretty solid so far for the first, or for this particular draft, because we have a lot of heroes that usually don't make it into the game, that are banned out, not eliminated yet. Ana can make it in. You could see some combo with Ana, maybe Jaina again for added wave clear on the point as well, on the objective. Hanzo, as said before, super early pick for him. Doesn't come as a surprise whatsoever. But yeah, what happens around Jaina? Oh, okay, Gul'dan, fair enough. Gul'dan with Ana, I'll take that too. That isn't too bad either, so we could see the Horrify value. Honestly, we have seen some maps where you can play that Rain of Destruction or Infernal Shrines if you feel that it is a tool that helps you to secure the objective because you zone out your opponent. Then you can definitely do that as well. So, yeah. What else do we have? There's Malfurion and Leo. I shall Swiffer. He's gonna try and clean shit up here. But that's a good setup already for them. Frontline is still interesting to me because there's still Diablo around. With the Malfurion follow-up, you have still a Diablo flip into a root. It's not quite the same setup as you can get with Tyrande because there's a lack of the Hunter's Mark, for example. But it's still something that works there. So there's the ETC ban. No ETC for Lauba. Again, you could play Dibbles, you could play a Nuborak, but ETC is obviously something that made Lauba kind of known. I mean, this is the first hero that he really properly excelled at. So, yeah, that's pretty solid. Ban on the other side, though. You're already looking at that Gul'dan Ana combo. Could still ban out the side laner now that you've taken Leoric for yourself. Try and get rid of something. Hammer. Again, Hammer is always a good one. For me, Hammer is always like stuck in my head when I'm thinking about Hazups, for example, but Make has played Hammer too. So this is definitely a hero that you don't want to encounter here. And since Gul'dan is already picked, who oftentimes also taken again Hammer against Hammer, this is actually a pretty solid setup. It's a pretty good idea to ban that out. But yeah, with the Inferno Shrines now popping up soon, we need 2 more picks. And at this point, I would say Make is most likely going to wait for his own pick until the final choice of unit. And I am completely wrong. We get a Tassadar with that. That is the last thing that I expected with the Gul'dan pick from earlier. Tassadar together with Gul'dan and Ana. Who's gonna be that offlaner? I mean, that has to be another melee, right? Are they going to go into Thrall here? Is there going to be a Sonya? I mean, Sonya back in the day with like Tassadar was pretty solid. But yeah, there's Imperius. That's more stuns. Imperius in the main tank role, actually. And there's the TIE Tracer that we talked about earlier. But yeah, that Tassadar, I really want to see what's happening right now. Because that is going to be an interesting choice for sure. Honestly, when I see that, I don't really... Sonya comes to mind. I don't really think it's going to be Sonya. She is too far out. It is her map, yes, but she's not picked these days anymore. But with Tassadar, that might be something. They go Illidan. They go full Illidan. They go full Monka S right now. The aggression is there. They want to go for it. And I am okay with that. So let's go into game number 4, Inferno Shrines, ladies and gentlemen, between Granite Gaming and Wind and Rain. The game is on, everybody. We are on map number 4, and we have Wind and Rain on the blue team side with Galne Gulnar on Ana, Skok on Gul'dan, Make on Tassadar, Schmilz on Illidan, and we see Starzerk on Diablo, the Lord of Terror. On the right side, Granite Gaming with Swamgrotta on Hanzo, Henning on Malfurion, TIE on Tracer, Furion Leoric, and a main tank Imperius, played by Lauba. Alright. Interesting setup, actually, with that Tacita Illidan. Totally not what I expected. I mean, obviously Tacita adds a lot here. He adds vision, he gives you a wave clear, and that AoE is cool to soften targets up, but also for the shrine. It's just not a setup that you would necessarily expect here. And Illidan actually going even into immolation. Every single time these days we see an Illidan, immolation is one of the last things, but the game doesn't start off well for Wind and Rain. There's a lockdown as the connect comes in from Imperius, and there we go. The immediate setup with good old, well, with a quick kill against Diablo. The immediate setup with a lunge on Imperius. And Skog dies too. So as aggressive as that lineup looked, it isn't off to a good start. We see the immediate aggression there from Granite Gaming. I mean, Lauba and Tai are already positioning themselves again aggressively to wait for someone to rotate over so they can take them down here. And it is a bit of a problem already, starting with 0-2 into the game. Tai on Tracer is also quite scary. And Starzerk, oh, nearly died again. Not so terrifying right now. A lot of terror my ass. I mean, at this point, he might be terrified. Maybe that's the reason for the name. But he isn't really that wall stun monster that we oftentimes see. At least not this far in the early game. So far, it's mostly Imperius that strides around the battlefield on his little carpet there, thinking he's Aladdin or something. I'm not quite sure. But over to the bottom right and bottom left, we have now the camps both taken. Both go for the Khazras, trying to claim those. And Lauba is already looking for the next launch. Whereas top side, we're still seeing our 1 versus 1 battle between Leo and Illidan. And Dibbles is in trouble again, and there's the bomb and nearly the kill. If Lauba connects the lunge, that's going to be another kill against him. And yeah, it is, honestly, it is tricky. When you have Tai against you, his Tracer play is pretty sick. And we so far have a lot of great Tracers in Division S. I mean, we're talking Banabir, DAB, you have Tai in play. So there's a lot of these guys that just first log Tracer whenever they get a chance. Tai lately hasn't really gotten a lot of opportunities to play Tracer, but now we're seeing this a little bit more here. So with that, we're having, again, still the flanks. I mean, continuously we're seeing just these flank positions from Lauba, who's sitting with Imperius at the side, waiting for someone to transition between the lanes and think if we can get some kind of attack there. Up to the top right, we're having Fury and Svankorota now going for their camp. I mean, shocking. The other team does the exact same thing. And this is really something. If you play on an amateur level, if you play in Heroes Launch, for example, make sure that you always time these camps with the objective. This is why the teams go for them when they do. This is what they try to do here. This is why they sometimes stay a little bit longer on the top lane, because they're trying to take down the opponent's camp before they rotate down. It's all about these trade-offs that you have there. So, for now, we're seeing Leo moving away. Fury gets out. And this is an aggressive push now. So they're actually giving up momentum on the bottom. They're staying completely at the top. They're saying, hey, as long as we kill or destroy a few of those structures, we will get exactly the same value as they get with the Punisher if we lose out on it. But since they attacked so aggressively, there was even a rotation headed their way from Granite Gaming's side. So there is no big battle over that objective just yet. There's the lunge, and that could be a lot of damage, but not quite a kill yet. Tai is throwing out those bombs like they're candy, and that's exactly the way that you need to play Tracer. You need to make them respect you. And it's actually a bit of a rookie mistake from a lot of Tracer players that they hold the ult back too long. That they always want to save it for that one kill that they can get. And that's one of the things that Poik and others in HGC back in the days have already said. Like, you need to be aggressive with it. You need to throw that out. You need to push the damage out. You need to be constantly just on the move here. Level 7, a little bit quicker for Wind and Rain, as we see them moving in here. But the objective still taken. And as we said before, it is that little trade-off that we have in terms of structures. But now the level 7 abilities are in, and for bad boy Tacita, that means that we have the projection now, so the extra range for him, and in addition to that, the diabolic momentum, plus the thirsting blade. Yeah, Tai already rushing around here, has to recall, and is in a huge amount of trouble, and dies. Dies for his sins. The Punisher comes in and tries to avenge him, but, well, might actually be able to pull that off. Skog is on the run. I honestly expected to see a bit more of an aggressive play on the side from Granite Gaming when they saw that he moved in, but I think they were already on the move towards the top. But Tracer gets taken down there. Tracer gets taken out. That just sometimes happens when you go a little bit too deep there. So, yeah, Tai gets punished for a second. They're trying to go for Lauba. Lauba with a lunge, trying to get out of there, and moves away. So, as we have Illidan in the game, again, just a quick of a heads up. Where does Illidan excel? What is Illidan actually good at? Illidan is fantastic when the map opens up, because he can really just completely attach himself to an opponent's hero and hunt them down. And just stick with them and dish out the damage. So once that those forts are eliminated, the distance to safety for anybody is a lot bigger. So that means it takes you a lot longer to tap at a fountain, to just go towards a fort or a keep. And so once that the outer structures are destroyed, it allows Illidan to really chase heroes. Nice kill. Tracer again, just towing the line there, but a little bit too deep and goes down. Got the kill, totally worth it. Counter kill then still happened, but in the meantime Leo is already solo on the top lane and can now easily get a bit more value for the team here without being molested by the blind guy. So Illidan comes in again, and with that we have level 10 abilities, and it's Metamorphosis. No hunching against, no pseudo globals, Metamorphosis for Illidan, trying to rock those team fights later on. So for now, we're having still Malfurion holding his own ult back a little bit. That silence can of course be a problem for Illidan. I mean, you're blind already, and then all of a sudden you're deaf too. That's always a bit of an issue. But yeah, with this we're having Tranquility taken instead. So trying to go for that. Tracer obviously has to be careful with the Horrify. Now, you can dodge out on that. If it could rewind, you can dodge out on the Horrify. But you have to be absolutely on point for that too. Here comes the Archon for Tassadar. And things start to get real with level 10. 3 kills against 2. And you can really tell that Granite Gaming is realizing right now, maybe we memed a little bit on Towers of Doom, but this game can turn. Because despite the fact that they got 2 early kills at the beginning of the game, that Illidan towards the late game can become a problem. Like a big one. So if you have a late game Illidan against you, you are oftentimes in trouble. There's the Horrify and the recall. And the arrow just saves Tracer for one moment, but not long enough. Lauba gets attacked too. He ran into Wrath and he falls as well. And just like that, Wind and Rain is ahead. Wind and Rain is ahead and has now taken the lead. The lead in kills, the lead in experience, and they have a shot at the Punisher at the top lane. And all of a sudden, we're looking at a setup in which Wind and Rain has a realistic chance to force game number 5. Boom. Just there. Just there. So with that, Starzerk is now starting to move towards the top. Everybody else is there. Leo is down at the bottom. Fury is still sitting tight and trying to get some experience for them. And Make on his Tassadar is just getting the stacks together for his level 1. And he soon is going to have that extra damage too. And obviously you want to complete that at the latest when you're heading into level 16 for the double storm. But he is already looking quite powerful here. Saved himself earlier with the Archon. And now here comes the fight. But level 13 is so close right now for Wind and Rain that they might actually just wait this out. Illidan, on the other hand, had to use Metamorphosis already to get the hell out of there. So now there's a big cooldown that he just had to burn. And there's the 13. And 13 gives you another big edge. 6 Sense taken, having the Health Stone and Nullification, which is another big tool, obviously, for Tassadar. And here we go, ladies. There we have it again, Fury. There's the stun into the wall. A Pog, and Tomb, arrow. Oh, the Horrify and the kill against Illidan. Illidan got Illidonged, and now Malfurion with a sustain. In comes the delivery system as Lauba goes straight for his second job as an Uber Eats delivery boy, and they get Starzerk delivered into the backline. One Lord of Terror, please. Do you want this to go or to kill here? I'll take it to go, thank you very much. Kill later. And that's exactly what they did. And down goes the Dibbles, and with that, we're all of a sudden having a massive, massive position for Granite Gaming on the point, and they get another Punisher. Nicely done. Great kill against Illidan, first of all. Baiting out the Metamorphosis already before the fight itself started. He didn't have the tool ready, and then they could go for the kill. Nice back and forth. I'm liking this. This is pretty awesome. And here comes Starzerk again on the run. And we're having that fort pretty much already destroyed. I mean, everybody's zoned out. There's arcane sentries everywhere. Illidan is bot lane, so is Leo at this point. And they are taking an easy fort, which gives them a bit of a lead right now. Nicely played. Quest completed, by the way, for Tacita. And we're having also 30 stacks for Gul'dan, which isn't bad at all. 27,000 damage for him. Top damage in the game for him at this point. And we're having everybody else in the middle, destroying another wall, trying to obviously take that sustain away with that fountain that we have there. The more of these you take down, the better for you in the long run, because your opponent is limited in the moves that they can make when it comes to the objective. Yeah, that could be a dead Leo. He's trying to wait it out until the rest of the team is there. Illidan, there's the arrow, and that's the Metamorphosis, or dead Illidan. And it's a dead Illidan. The Metamorphosis was a bit too late. You could become a little bit suspicious when the when the Leo that is obviously going to lose the 1 versus 1 is not moving away. When that Leo is just sitting there and just saying like la 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 and run in circles, then you know that something is definitely not right. And that arrow was a little bit predictable, but yeah, the arrow comes through, and I mean, he loses either way, right? Either he dodges, then the camp's taken, or not. There's another setup, and the ult misses! Lauber cannot connect the Wrath and is not able to deliver Gul'dan into the rest of the team here. Okay, 16 is close for them. It's really, really close for them there. And, yep, Lauber is already zoning his out slightly. I mean, ult isn't ready, but still he can lunge, and that's exactly what he does. There's the Horrify. Okay, that was a good move. Skok would have probably died here if not for that. The APOC, on the other hand, yeah, that setup didn't really work out. I mean, Starzerk obviously wanted to go for a traditional APOC setup. You use the APOC, you charge in and you flip him over into the APOC circle. And he tried to go for Malfurion here, but he just could not close that gap and was just a little bit too late on it. So it looked worse than it actually was. I mean, he lost the combo, but still, that could have worked out and might have just led to a death of Henning of Malfurion here. As it stands, it's of course cooldowns burns and they don't get back anytime soon. And now we're at least having the Ruinous Affliction. No level 1 quest completed for Gul'dan, though he's still working on that. Gets a bit more stacks in against Tai here, sitting at 36 right now. But the camp is about to be taken again. They're trying to fight for it. And Imperius is just slamming Diablo around the entire time. Never piss off an Archangel, I'm telling you that. Whatever Imperius is. And yep, there's an Illidan. And then there was no Illidan anymore. Fury, on the other hand, died too, but that's trade value activated in my book. A little bit more damage from Gul'dan as he's desperately trying to get those bloody stacks together. Still sitting at 38 though. Talking stacks, Starzerk is also miles away from having his own souls completed, but he gets the wall stun and the recall tie. Gets out, but close. And it's a close game. I mean, not when you look at the map. When you look at the minimap, it isn't really all that close. I mean, in structures, there is one team that has a significant advantage. But you look at the kills, you look at the experience, and there's no real big difference at this point. We have now the Celestial Swiftness taken, by the way. Another Shrine is activating in a bit, and that's going to be a 16 talent versus 16 talent fight. So, yeah, with that, and the quest nearly completed for Gul'dan, we could actually now see a bit of a win there. Horrify is back to business as well, so is Metamorphosis. I mean, they have the tools. They have the tools right now. The question is just simply, does it this time work out? And they can definitely turn this. Where's the last stack for Gul'dan on the other hand? Where is that corruption when you need it? Going for the drain. Lunge misses. There's the quest completed. In comes Wrath. Into... Oh, Dibbles is dead. The Horrify is there. Diablo died to the left. They're trying to go for the kill. Once again, the lunge connecting as they're trying to go for Gul'dan. Gul'dan in trouble already. The nano boost for Nana. Can he get the kill here? And he cannot. He goes down against Tai as Tracer goes in for the kill. Lauber again in a little bit of trouble. And in the backline, we're already having Tacita trying to escape as he's about to get dropped. And after Ana falls, he dies too. And that's everybody dead except for Illidan. Down they go, one after another. 1, 2, 3, 4 as the bodies hit the floor, and the Mortar Punisher is going to move straight through the middle as the rest of the team is already splitting mid and top lane, trying to get 2 keeps, at least 1, and Wind and Rain all of a sudden with a back to the wall, as in game number 4, Granite Gaming is looking for that best of 5 victory. 2 heroes back, the rest of them already sitting there. Once again in the middle, we're having that keep about to be taken down. The one at the top is also falling, and this is the moment when the shit is really hitting the fan. Granite Gaming destroys keep number 1. They go for keep number 2. Catapults are going to be pushing everywhere at this point, and they might even go for more. They nearly have 20. They're not quite there just yet, but they're looking at the core. They have a big Punisher still in play. They don't have the Buried Alive yet. They're still there with a lot of power, and they go for that core, and they're going to take that easy. Catapults everywhere. And this is Granite Gaming finishing what they started on Cursed Hollow. They take the victory, they take the best of 5, and take Wind and Rain down with a 3-1 W. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.